Right, yeah, this is the start of the video, but I've actually just finished. So, God, that was a hard workout, that was rough. So, new training block from coach, 4 weeks long. He's changed out a few exercises, added a few things, changed rep ranges a little bit, and yeah, so this is actually after the workout. I've just finished the workout. Just adjust the camera there because it's bouncing around. Yeah, so it's day one's always the squat variation at the moment on the program. So I had did all my warm-up exercises, so spaz rolls and hip abduction work, adduction work, and kettlebell swings, focusing on tensing the old booty cheeks. And then I just realised I'm driving it completely the wrong way. Oh, whatever. And then yeah, went into squats. So this block is, I had said to him in the messages, I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind continuing to do box squats because I feel like they're really like working for me. But he suggested we change it up, do a different squat variation that's not actually squats, so it's not going to be super heavy. So I'm still getting the reps and the work in on exercise that is harder than a regular squat, but it's not, you know, I can't load up the weight heaps because the exercise itself is hard. So stiletto squats, you'll see that in the video when I put at the end of me talking, you'll see that. And then yeah, it was supersetted with hammy curls. So yeah, it was sets of 6 on the old stiletto squat and sets of 15 on the old hamstring curl. It's actually a pretty cool little superset. Quite enjoyed it. I've done stuff like that in the past. It's normally been like just a generalized squat with ham curls. I've done stiletto squats before, but never as a superset with hamstring curls. That was really cool, that old agonist antagonist work. And yeah, the leg pump was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, worked up to, as you'll see in the video, worked up to 150 for a set of 6. Sent it to the coach and he goes, bring your feet in a little bit, closer stance, more quad work. Okay. So next week I'll go a little bit closer stance. But yeah, I like the training block he sent. A lot of similar things and also some changes, which is what you want. The things that are working, keep them in, and the things that you should adjust so you don't so you get adaptation. You need to change things to get adaptation. Which way am I going from here? But honestly, I lived in this town almost my entire life, and I'm driving the completely wrong way to get to where I'm trying to get to, which is funny. Anyway, yeah, I quite like the program, and I'm getting into a little bit of heavier work as well, which is kind of cool. He's put some like heavier sets in there every now and then. And I think we're working up to like a heavy double on deadlift at some point as well. So looking forward to that. Obviously my back's pretty good at the moment. I'm feeling pretty strong. And you know, I'm a little egotistical and sometimes, so I do like to look at how I look, and I do like to try and look good as well. I'm still carrying, you know, a fair amount of fat mass, but I'm a strongman, you've got to carry a little bit of fat mass. But it definitely feels like I am just packing on muscle mass at the moment. I look at myself in the mirror and do the old most muscular from bodybuilding, and my shoulders and traps and arms and chest are all looking considerably bigger, which is cool. So yeah, quite like the program he sent. Looking forward to getting into it. Yeah, that workout was pretty rough. He's changed up the leg extension, so it was 5 sets of 20 last program, still 5 sets of 20, but this time I'm only allowed a maximum of 60 seconds rest, whereas previously I was allowed as much rest as I wanted, essentially. So I did all the sets at 50 kilos, and you'll see it in the video. The last 2 sets I did, I think I managed 16 reps and then had to put it down and then do 4 more. And the last set I did 12 and then did 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, because our legs are just like, it's It's pretty smart. I've done this previously, where you're not doing the strongman exercises, but you want to maintain some level of ability to handle rep work, essentially, because a yoke is just a whole bunch of steps, a whole bunch of reps of steps with a heavy weight in your back. So focus on a similar exercise. So they say a leg extension is very, very quad dominant. Focus on sets of 20, so you build that lactic acid threshold, so that when you get back in the strongman stuff, your lactic acid threshold is higher, so that the strongman exercises will be easier, essentially. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It was a hard workout, that's all, because it was similar sets and reps, just slightly harder, and I'm pushing it harder as well. Like, I'm pushing the weights up. And like last week, I think heaviest I got to in leg extensions was 40 kilos, and that was as much rest as I wanted in between the sets of 20. Today I did 5 sets of 20 with 50 kilos, so I increased the weight, even though there was less rest. Just pulling into a store right now, so I'm going to have to turn the old camera off. Yeah, enjoying the program. It's only day 1, but I'm enjoying all the work I'm doing, because I'm actually able to just put the work in and push myself hard and not have to actually think about the program myself. Because that's a big thing with yourself. Like, I can easily coach people and write programs for people and do all that business. But as an athlete, I want someone else to program for me, because I want someone else holding me accountable for my workouts. Because I'm really good at holding myself accountable in like RPE pushes and rep ranges and absolutely like destroying myself in the gym. What I'm not good at holding myself accountable for is changing out exercises. I'll get, programs I've written, I'll get 2 weeks into it and go, oh, I'm not enjoying the exercise. No, I'm dropping it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'll do a different exercise, and I'll choose something that I know I'm good at. And a good example of that is I put a lot of front squats into my programs, because it's an athletic movement and I should be better at it. I put it in, I get 2 weeks in, and I go, this is just hurting my wrists, hurting my fingers. No, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to change it out, and I'll change it out for like a high bar pull squat or something like that. So yeah, it's just nice having someone to hold me accountable, because it's like programming in reality is actually relatively easy. There's nothing in these programs that coaches sent me that is anything otherworldly, nothing that I don't already know myself. But it's that I'm paying someone to write these programs, I'm gonna damn well follow them. Because if I'm not going to follow them, where's the point of paying this person, right? So I'm gonna pop in the store, and then I'll continue talking to the camera on my way home. And we're back. I just stopped at the warehouse. If you are outside of New Zealand or Aotearoa, this beautiful country of ours, if you're outside of this beautiful country and you don't know what the warehouse is, sometimes, colloquially referred to as te wari whare, it is a chain store that sells stuff. Food, clothing, knickknacks, gaming, Legos, other stuff. It's kind of like Walmart in America, except they don't sell guns, because guns are heavily restricted in New Zealand. Firearms are heavily restricted in New Zealand. You need a license to have firearms, and you need very specific licenses for very specific firearms. But anyway, I just stopped at the warehouse because I don't think I've mentioned this in another video, but I collect Pokemon cards. I actually collect cards in general. I started out in like Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's what I grew up on, and I got back into collecting like 6 to 7 months ago. But I collect like Pokemon sealed stuff, and then I collect like individual Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I collect some individual Pokemon cards, but I mostly collect sealed Pokemon, because I don't know, like at the moment I'm trying to collect elite trainer boxes of like different different editions, different generations, which isn't easy because Pokemon is just so bloody expensive. But you know, I collect elite trainer boxes. I've got a few cool ones, and I try to. So I popped in there because I'd heard that there was going to be another drop of Ascended Heroes elite trainer boxes. So I thought, I'll see if they've got any. They don't, which big surprise. For some reason, these drops happen around the country in other big other cities, and nothing ever drops in Palmerston North for some reason. Like Ascended Heroes booster bundles all drop throughout the country at the warehouse and Kmart and Farmers. Well, it started out at Kmart and then has gone to the warehouse, but for some reason there's just been nothing in Palmerston North other than like the local actual card stores. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but you know, I wanted to try and get my hands on a couple of ETBs for Ascended Heroes because they're, number one, worth a lot, and by being worth a lot it means they're worth more in trade, so I could trade them for something else. Like I'm trying to get my hands on a Phantasmal Flames ETB at the moment, but I'm not willing to pay out all the, you know, I'm not willing to pull money out of my ass to try and pay for that. Anyway, yeah, started a new program. I'm pretty happy with it. Some changes I'm like really happy about, and some of them I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I'll give it a go. So I'm doing like I was doing those suitcase carriers. Now I'm just going to be just doing suitcase pickups, which will be interesting because that's the kind of exercise I can really push quite heavy, because my grip is quite strong. So it'll be whether my obliques and core can handle the weight. Yeah, I think I'm going to sign off there. Still got to figure out what I'm going to have for dinner. But it's pretty early in the evening, so I'm not too worried, which is nice. So I'm going to sign off there. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see y'all next time.
Alright, I am back at it with another voiceover. This is just me doing one of my warm-up exercises that isn't actually on my program. So the exercises that Rich has programmed for me, I do those, but I also do my own generalized warm-up. So I've taken a McGill setup here and I've added a twist to it just to work those core muscles in those positions. And yeah, this is the program that I was talking about earlier in the video where I was talking to the camera. So yeah, stiletto squats. They actually felt pretty good. So the goal was 4 sets of 6. So I started at 120, 130, 140, 150. So this is the 120 set. Yeah, so I think next session I'm just going to have the one plate and I'm just going to stand pretty close-footed on that one plate. And that should get the desired result that Rich wants. And this is the hammy curls. Yeah, I really liked the superset. It was really enjoyable. Yeah, Rich actually asked, he's like, how are your knees feeling from the stiletto squats? And I was like, they felt fine. I couldn't concentrate on my knees being sore because my hamstrings were so blown up from pump that my knees just weren't even a thing. And here's that top set. It was relatively easy in reality. You know, I'm still worried about, you know, my lower back and my TFL. So I'm just, first session, trying to get used to the movement, trying not to like push it to absolute depths just yet and trying not to hurt myself. I think in that setup, I probably could have hit this pretty comfortably for like 180 for 6, if not maybe more. So we'll see. It's Sunday the 10th at the moment while I'm talking, so I'm going to do this session again tomorrow. So we'll see how we get on with that one. And then, yeah, death marches. So Rich told me, hey, increase the weight. You can do more, because I have been doing 30 kilos. I think I'd done one session where I did 35. So I did 40 in this session. I managed to get it was only 2 sets of 20 this time. It was pretty comfortable. The hardest part of it isn't the lower back or the glutes or the hamstrings or anything. It is purely the grip. And yeah, into one of my little core exercises here. So like I've put these in videos before. I really do enjoy this. my focus is trying to stop the swing at the bottom and trying not to just swing it straight over my shoulder, and trying not to just use my shoulders and chest strength to swing it, really actually trying to pull through my core. So breathing in through the abs as well and having the abs tense the entire time has been really helpful here. Yeah, we're just trying to really improve my twisting strength, because it seems to be maybe something that's led to injuries in the past. And this is the quad of doom set. 5 sets of 20 with a minute's rest in between. So I've got my own stopwatch and I'm just sitting there trying to get over the burn. While I'm mucking around in the video. Like the program. I've obviously finished the entire first week now as I'm recording this video, and I was pretty happy with it. The only thing that I really struggled with the week was I had deadlifts on what would be Friday, so day 3, and it's no fault of the program. My lower back was just really stiff. Unfortunately, work has been incredibly stressful recently, so I've just been stressed. So I haven't been sleeping as well, and that's just caused a little bit of back stiffness. You see me whacking my legs there because the burn is just burning. You see my lovely tattoo there as well, done by one of my mates who's also a strongman, James Bishop, a local strongman in Palmerston North, and also a very good tattoo artist. That was the only part that was tough this week, was just the lower back stiffness on the Friday was just horrible. But I still got the dealer session done anyway and did everything else on top of it. Just one of those, it doesn't hurt, but it's stiff, so it doesn't feel right, so you get worried. It's hard coming back from injuries because you are always worried that something is going to happen again. And I've prolapsed my disc so many times now that I'm just always worried it's going to happen. And it was that. And then just finishing off my leg raises. I'm trying to get better at these, trying to not let my body swing as much. Doesn't look like much, but this is actually really good for me. It's a really good core exercise, and I get a little bit of grip training in as well, because I am quite heavy. I'm holding on to 140 kilos there. And yeah, I did 3 sets of 15, 18 or something that day. This is on day 2. So we've transitioned from the seated behind the neck press to standing. And just for the first session, doing 80 kilos for 3 sets of 8, I believe. Honestly, it was pretty comfortable. I probably could have gone heavier, but that was what the program said, just do 80 kilos. Then, supersetted with not supersetted. I did the behind neck first, and then this is behind neck pull downs afterwards, and I did 4 sets of 10, I think. Just those different movements. This is the movement I was able to really push myself on. So end of last block, I did 50 kilos. The very last session, and I managed 1 set of 6 on each arm, and I'd done, I think, 45, 50, and then back down to 40, I believe. This day I walked in, I was like, I'm going to do 50 kilos for all sets, because it's now 3 sets of 5 instead of sets of 6, so 1 rep less. So I was like, I can do this. I can do all the reps with 50 kilos. And I did. A little bit of muck up there, just getting off balance. Trying to face the camera so I can see what my body's doing, as well as facing away from the camera. Even with that muck up, the right arm still just feels so much easier, because that is my dominant arm. It's the hand I write with, the arm I do everything with, so it's just always going to be that little bit stronger. So this is so surprising. I've gotten considerably stronger over the last couple of months. And this is the last set. Really trying to keep the dumbbell quite close to my head and actually pushing my body away from the dumbbell a little bit, while also using my shoulder strength to strict press it, because the idea is it's meant to complement my monster dumbbell, which is one of my worst movements. And monster dumbbell, it's a dip and drive with you throw the dumbbell up while trying to push your body away to catch it. And so that's what I'm trying to mimic there a little bit. And then onto the shoulder pump of doom as usual. Coach has been really nice. He's just let me Like the reps are slightly lower on the rear delts, so it's now 15 reps and 15 reps, which also means I'm able to increase the weight. I think the heaviest I'd done was 9 kilos, and I was able to do the entire session with 12.5 kilo dumbbells for the rear delt flies. For some reason, those last 5 reps are the ones that really get me. And then, yeah, tricep and bicep pump. So, gone to a point where the reps I'm doing, this is the heaviest, like, preloaded bar in the gym. So, I'm probably going to have to start using a normal barbell or maybe dumbbells. So I'll tackle that next session, see if I can go a little bit heavier. Going pretty heavy on the biceps here. Felt good, and I think it's a 12 kilo easy bar, because it definitely doesn't feel like it's 7 kilos. And from what I know, they come in 7 or 12, maybe sometimes 10. Yeah, onto deadlift. So the session was 3 sets, 8 reps with 3 second eccentrics. So I did 170 for the first 2 sets. My back was just really stiff and a little bit, yeah, just from like stiff from poor sleep, I guess. And then the last set, I was like, no, you can do 200, go for it, let's see what happens. And I did 200, and it was actually really comfortable. And after the 200 set, my back actually felt a little bit less stiff. So I just needed to kind of get my brain around the fact that, hey, you can do it, it's not that bad. Doing Bulgarian split squats here. The setup looks stupid, and I'm not doing it for extra range of motion or anything. I want to have the bar there with the soft mat, because that's the most comfortable position. But having my foot all the way on the ground is, my back foot's too high. So having my foot raised up a little bit just makes it so it's a nice comfortable position, just so I can get the best reps possible. This did feel a little bit funny. The first couple of reps, I was like, oh, that doesn't feel great. But again, it was just getting my back used to the idea of doing the movement. And it's pretty light. It's only, I think, 70 kilos total. But yeah, pretty happy. You know, the hamstrings were like working overtime on that. And then, yeah, I don't have to do moving with the side pickups anymore. So it's just stand and it's just pick up. And after watching this video and during the training, I was like, I'm not really happy with that. Like, I'm not standing up very straight. It doesn't look great. It just, I wasn't happy with it. And I record myself and watch my videos while I'm working out, so I can see, hey, look, what are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? This felt actually quite easy, which is probably the reason why I wasn't actually doing it properly. So I increased the weight and said, do it properly, try and lock it out properly. And that's what I'm doing. I'm actually bringing my hips through. And I was pretty happy with this. I think it's 122 kilos, 12 kilo farmers, and then, 110 kilos added, so 122 kilos. Yeah. Pretty happy. Moving along. Getting it done. Look at me go. Yeah. I'm going to really push this in the training block. I would like the last session to be up around that kind of 150 mark, because my grip's really strong. And then, this last session for the week. So this was yesterday. So just nice, easy intro incline for the block. I did incline last block, but sets 8, and it was just 120 for 3 sets 8, nice and comfy. In the rows, I'm probably going to have to look at using straps and going onto the monster dumbbell, because I'm at the point where the 60 kilo dumbbell is not heavy enough. I think what I was meant to do was 3 sets of 6 or 5 or something like that. And this was it was incredibly light. It felt way too easy. So, I might have to use the monster dumbbell and strap up and do that, because that's the heaviest dumbbell I have in the gym. And onto these. I'm getting better at them, I swear. I'm really trying to keep the kettlebell over my head as best I can. Just that flexibility through my core, through the midsection, just still isn't there. But it is getting better. The left side is actually a lot better. I'm almost at a point where my arms and my upper body are in a T. And then this was my monster dumbbell. I'm pretty much going to do monster dumbbell, I think, every block because it is something I'm quite bad at, and it's a very technical lift that I need to work on. So the session today was 10 sets of 1 rep per side. No dip in no hold in the dip or anything like that. Just the 10 sets of 1 and up to 90 seconds rest. I decided I'll do 60 seconds rest and I'll just go with a 60 kilo dumbbell and I'll see how many sets I can get before I die, essentially. And so I just showed the me walking around there, and then I'm not going to show the minutes rest in between each. The dumbbell actually started feeling quite snappy on my right hand in certain points. So that's what I want, obviously. I think this one felt quite snappy. Yeah, they are getting better technically, which is nice. Because that focus on trying to keep it straight over midline above my head and throwing it above my head rather than out to the side. Even the left arm's actually feeling pretty decent. The only problem I have with my left arm is I don't know if it's my grip or what, but the dumbbell always feels like it's falling towards my face as I press overhead. But good thing that's not my actual competition pressing arm. Yeah, again, looking really snappy. It's only 60 kilos, but it's a start for the program. Coach has said that if I can get 10 sets with a certain weight, the next session I have to go heavier. I think next session I'm probably going to go maybe 67. Or even I might just go straight to 70 and then use the 90 seconds instead of using 60-second rests. But yeah, pretty happy with this. Like, it's been a while since I've done this kind of rep work. For me, it would have been much easier if I was just told to do 60 kilo dumbbell max reps in a minute. I could have just done 10 reps on my right arm in probably 55 seconds. And that would have been a lot easier, but the added rest in between just kind of makes it a bit harder. One of these sets, the dumbbell tries to kill me. As in I drop it onto the mat and it runs away along the floor. Luckily enough, it's not this one. But yeah, you see I'm getting better positions now. I'm keeping a lot of good pressure into the dumbbell. I'm not getting any drift when I do my dip. So I'm happy. It's getting better. I would like to get my monster dumbbell back up to around 100 kilos because that's what I need to be competitive. See? Dumbbell just jumping towards me. It's trying to kill me. Well, that's all right. Oh, can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? And he does it very easily. It's only 60 kilos, so, I would be very surprised if I missed that. Although in saying that, my first couple of sessions of monster dumbbell a couple of months ago on my own program, I did miss 60 kilos at one point. Yeah, the left arm started looking better there. What I'd done is I'd shoved my hand closer towards the top end of the barrel to make it so that the part that's closest to my head ends up essentially with more hand on it, so there's more strength there. I think this is the set where the dumbbell decides it's going to run away. And I've muted it because I was swearing at the dumbbell. There it goes. And there it comes. And I just do it there because I couldn't be bothered carrying it back. And again, this is very easy because it is only 60, but we're getting there. And then, so I do the 10 sets and then I come over to the camera and I talk some madness because, I don't know, I'm a madman sometimes. See, again, the dumbbell just falling towards my face a little bit on that left hand. Yeah, it's definitely something to work on, even though it's not my competition hand. You still want to be good at both when you do it. Yeah, make sure I'm looking at the dumbbell. Nice power, straight overhead. Look at that, good. One of these sets is going to be sound at some point. Oh, here I come. I'm going to talk to the camera. Here we go.
I think that's 10 sets. I think. Might do one more for good luck.
And on to that extra set. The reason I did the extra set was because I wasn't actually sure if I had done 10 or if I had done 9. Because apparently counting to 10 is very difficult. I'm a grown man and I sometimes struggle to count to 10, and that's fine. But yeah, I was very happy with this. Obviously watching the video, it is 11 sets in the end. I'm definitely going to go heavier next week. Yeah, pretty happy with that. And then I'm on to my last exercise, just some simple face pulls to finish off. There we go. Yeah, pretty happy with the first week, getting back into maybe some heavier stuff as well, which is going to be really nice. Well, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Watch me finish off my face pulls, and then I go home and eat after this.